Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the family coming in, man. Y'all coming through the door. Y'all coming through the door. What I'm talking about. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Motto tip, everybody. Grand rising. Rose like Rob and live again. Yeah. Ah. Well, I found out that I can be myself, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad, yeah. Well, I found out that I can be myself, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So glad I can be myself. So glad I can be myself. Yeah, it really is good to know that I don't have to be nobody else. Yes, I'm so glad I can be myself. I have peace because I don't have to be nobody else. It feels so nice to be free. I can be myself. I can really be me. I'm so glad I can be myself. I can be myself. Sure is good to know that I don't have to be nobody else. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I found out that I can be myself, yeah, and I'm so glad. That's what I'm talking about. Found out. Don't have to be nobody else. Yeah, and I'm so glad about that. I'm so glad. Found out, yeah, that I can be myself. And I'm so glad. Yes, family. Yes, yes, yes. So glad I can be myself. And it's a wonderful thing. And I'm trusting that you have found out the same. Yeah, wherever you are. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Yeah, man, I'm glad we're able to be ourselves, and hey, what can I tell you? It's a wonderful thing. Okay. Well, family, I'm trying to find I had to use a different device here today, and I'm trying to find my music. Man, where is it? Here we go. Okay, not available. Okay, just have to play something else. Well, listen, happy new day, family. And my auto tip, I'm so glad that you guys are with me today, wherever you are. I'm thankful that God has taken care of you and you're safe and healthy, I hope. Our condolences go out to the many families who have lost loved ones over the last few weeks, last few days to this coronavirus. Man, I tell you, this thing is still with us and it's going to be with us for a while. Okay, so don't get comfortable with that. Um, yeah, stay safe still. It's so good to have you with me today, and to all of you who are logged on and joining us here in the chat room. I see you guys there. Thank you for being with me today, taking time out of your schedule. And you guys, the difference between here and actually in the brick and mortar building is sometimes in the brick and mortar building we don't get started to 20, 25, sometimes 45 minutes late waiting on people to show up, but you guys are coming through the door right on time. I mean, and that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good that you are anxiously waiting, okay, for Sunday to come along, okay, for this time to come along so that we can share our time together. I'm Ray Hagins. Welcome to another Sunday online fellowship of our Njia Fellowship of the African Village. And again, thank you for being with me. Well, listen, before going any further, okay, let's open up with the song that I'm so glad we're able to sing today. And that is One More Time, One More Time. God allowed us to come together one more time. Okay, so let's lift our voices together and sing it like we mean it. Okay, yeah. Let's not take it for granted that here we are, one more time together. Come on. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together. One more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together. Yes, God allowed us to come together one more time. Just one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah, to come together to praise His name. To praise His name. God allowed us to come together to praise His name. To praise His name. To praise His name. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah, to sing our song. To sing our song. God allowed us to come together to sing our song. Sing our song. Yeah, sing our song. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah. Now let's put those hands together. Come on. To clap our hands. To clap our hands. God allowed us to come together to clap our hands. Clap our hands. To clap our hands. God allowed us to come together. God allowed us, yeah. Everybody say one more time. Just one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. Oh, God allowed us. God allowed us, to come together one more time. God allowed us, just to praise His name. God allowed us, He's been so good and kind. God allowed us, yeah. Oh, yes, He did. God allowed us, God allowed us to come together. Yeah, boy, one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. And family, I am grateful to the Almighty for that. And I pray that you are just as excited as I am, for having the opportunity to come together like we are right now. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, man. It's a wonderful thing when we get to come together. And, this thing is not working right here today. And what can I tell you? Well, listen, before going any further, it's time for us now to honor our ancestors. Okay? Oh, yeah. It's time for our us to come together in our minds and honor those who have gone before us. Okay? So let's lift our voices together, family. All right. And let's honor those. Somebody asked me, why do you guys pray to the ancestors? We don't pray to them, but we do honor them. Okay. Yeah. So let's lift our voices. Blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors. It is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor.
Oh, ancestors,
yes,
we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place.
Oh, ancestors,
who have been purposely excluded from the history books, so that the world would not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors, who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the arts to the world.
Yes.
Our African ancestors,
yes,
who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors,
who gave science to the world.
Our African ancestors, who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave medicine to the world.
Yeah.
Our African ancestors, who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave God consciousness to the world. Oh, ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered, and give us the wisdom and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us, and we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you, and we will not betray you. Ashe. Again we say Ashe. And now, brothers and sisters, we want to take the time to honor
the
great Africans who have gone ahead of us. We call forth their great African names and honor them.
Yes.
To pharaohs Narmer, Zoja, Sneferu, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, and the great vizier and physician and multi-genius Imhotep, we say
Ashe.
Yes.
To Queen Nitocris, Queen Sobek Neferu, Queen Ahotep, Queen Amos Nefertari,
Yeah.
Queen King Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, Queen T, and Queen Nefertari II, we say
Ashe. Yes.
To Menkepen Ra Tahuti Mays, known as Thutmose III,
Yeah,
Amenhotep III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Ursula Akra, Setepen Ra, Rametsu Meriamun, Ramses II, Shabaka, Taharka, Hannibal, and the great African warrior Shaka Zulu, we say Ashe. To all of the kings, queens, priests, and warriors of Nubia, Ethiopia, Kemet, Kenya, the Congo, Tanzania, Uganda, Central, South, and West Alkebuland, we say Ashe. To the more than 600 million Africans whose lives were lost in the European invasions of Africa and in the Middle Passage, we say Ashe. To the more than 300 million who have since lost their lives to racism and hate crimes, we say Ashe. To Harriet Tubman, Ashe. Frederick Douglass, Ashe. Mary McLeod Bethune, Ashe. Nat Turner, Ashe. Fannie Lou Hamer, Ashe. Sojourner Truth, Ashe. Carter G. Woodson, Ashe. Booker T. Washington, Ashe. Dr. Charles Drew, Ashe. Noble Drew Ali, Ashe. Benjamin Banneker, Ashe. George Washington Carter, Ashe. Bishop Richard Allen, Ashe. Bishop Charles Harrison Mason, Ashe. Howard Thurman, Ashe. Mother Mahalia Jackson, Ashe. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garland, Benjamin E. May, Ashe. Langston Hughes, Ashe. Medgar Evers, Ashe. Paul Robeson, Ashe. Dr. Martin Luther King, Ashe. Malcolm X, Ashe. Thurgood Marshall, Ashe. Mother Clara Hale, Ashe. Adam Clayton Powell, Ashe. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Ashe. Dr. Amos Wilson, Ashe. Dr. John Henrik Clark, Ashe. Dr. John G. Jackson, Ashe. Dr. Shikanta Diop, Ashe. Dr. Chancellor Williams, Ashe. Dr. George G.M. James, Ashe. Patrice Lumumba, Ashe. Kwame Ture, Ashe. Kwame Nkrumah, Ashe. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Ashe. Dr. Jacob Carruthers, Ashe. Dr. Ishaka Musa Barashango, Ashe. Brother Ray Charles, Ashe. To our mothers and fathers, Ashe. Our grandmothers and grandfathers, Ashe. To our great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers, Ashe. Our brothers and sisters, Ashe. Sons and daughters, Ashe. Aunts and uncles, Ashe. Nieces, nephews, cousins, Ashe. All those who have gone ahead of us, Ashe. And have made their ancestral transition to their life, deeds, legacy, and contributions, we say Ashe. Ashe. Again we say Ashe. Again we say Ashe.
Yes. Allahu Akbar is Arabic for God is great. Allahu Akbar. Allah, He's worthy to be praised. Allah. Ooh. Yes. Allah. Ah, God is great. God is great, and He's worthy to be praised. Ah, yes, I say hallelujah. God is great, and He's worthy to be praised. Yeah. I say hallelujah. God make us one. We all should be one. Then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. Then the unbelievers will come and they will say, you are with us. Oh God, make us one. We all should be one. Yeah. Akbar. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Family, I tell you, it's so wonderful. I look forward to this time. that we all get to come together every Sunday at this time in fellowship. Yeah, lifting our voices together. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yes, family. It's a wonderful thing, man, I tell you. And again, we so thankful for you being with us today. And I trust, again, that family, you're doing well. And hey, man, I'm glad that you are safe wherever you are. I pray that you're safe wherever you are. It's a wonderful thing, you know. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Well, family, just bear with me for a moment as I switch devices here. Okay. What's happening here, man? What's going on with this stuff today? Technology, and you know, all this, man, technology. Yeah, technology is, what can I tell you? It's just what it is. Excuse this speaker noise here. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay, let's lift our voices together now as we sing our national anthem. Okay, lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Come on, sing with me. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Come on. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, stony the road we trod. Bitter the chastening rod. Felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way. We have come over a way that tears have been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. Yes. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, and lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee, shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land, true to our God, true to our native land. Yes, true to our God, true to our native land. Yeah, man, true to our God, true to our native land. And I trust that you guys can understand how powerful that is. You know, true to our God, true to our native land. Do y'all know who and where that is? Yeah. Okay. A lot of us have been true to a God that was fabricated by the Roman Catholic Church, which is not the true and living God. Okay. And we have been true to a land that we were captured, stolen, and brought to. Okay. But we do have our own native land. Okay. That place is called Alkebulan. All right. That's the ancient name of our motherland. Of course, you more commonly know it as Africa, because that's the name of the continent that we were stolen from. Okay. Oh, yes. Now, there's some of y'all that's deep out there and say, well, I wasn't stolen from Africa. Okay. You know, some of us are just so deep. You know, I know that there were many Africans, notice I said Africans, on this continent long before the slave trade began. And that's because Africans, what am I trying to say? Supernavigated actually the globe, you know, long before we were enslaved, you know, 13th, 14th, 15th century. Okay, Africans had built seafaring vessels. And if you ever get to go with me to Kemet, you will see a perfect example of that at the base in the back of the Pyramid of Khufu. Okay. Yeah, I believe it's Khufu's pyramid. Yes. The boat that was built in his honor, you know, and it was the first or the world's oldest seafaring vessel, you know. And when I do my, I'm going to do a virtual tour of Kemet over the next few months. You know, we'll do it right here on the air. And of course, those who sign up for that will be able to virtually go to Egypt along with me. Okay. Yeah. Once again, family, thank you for joining me today. I'm Dr. Ray Hagins, and I am your host today, your teacher, your friend, your brother. Thank you for joining us for another Sunday online NGA Fellowship of the African Village and Cultural Center. To all of our elders, I honor you today, especially our elders there in Dred Scott City. Okay. And of course, many of you may not know where that is. Well, it's called more commonly St. Louis. I call it Dred Scott City because St. Louis is the home of the Dred Scott decision. Yes, that took place right there, not far from the arch. Almost said the Golden Gate Bridge. Not far from the arch, right there in St. Louis at the courthouse downtown. Okay, it's where Judge Taney ruled, okay, a Supreme Court decision that a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect. And you know what's really tragic is that law is still on the books today. Yeah. So I call it Dred Scott City instead of St. Louis, you know. And so now you know where I'm talking about when I say Dred Scott City. But to our elders there, you know, our elder Comey White, our elder Robert Lee, our Queen Mother, Elder Juanita Lucas, to elders Leroy and Phyllis Jackson, Oh, yes, to Elder Doris Magwood. Oh, my goodness, to all of our elders there. It's so good that you guys are still doing good. I miss every one of you. Okay. And even the names I did not call, forgive me for omitting names, to our secretary, Queen Shirley Ayana Spencer, to our office manager, Sister Valerie Henson. I love you guys, and I miss all of y'all. Brother Mingo, you'll probably see Mother Mingo's post here, writing in the street in the thread, posting comments. To the Connors, Brother Ricky and Sister Evelyn Connor, all of you there in St. Louis, Sister Vernona. Miss you guys. I don't know when we'll get to see each other again, because this virus is going to be with us for a while. Okay. And when I say a while, I mean, according to the reports that I'm getting from medical professionals right here from the CDC in Atlanta, it's going to be with us at least another 1.5 to 2 years. Okay. So just kind of, dig in and get ready for the long haul of fighting this infection. Okay. Yeah, to all of our elders and other locations, such as the African village of Youngstown, Ohio, the African village of Cleveland, Ohio, the African village of Detroit, the African village of New York City. All right, Minister Vernon Wells and the brothers and sisters there, okay, they're probably logged on watching as well. Okay, to the African village of Memphis, Tennessee, to the African village of Charleston, South Carolina. Oh my goodness, to our brothers and to African village there in Kansas City. Oh my goodness, to Chief Kazuma, to all of you guys, to our brothers and sisters who are affiliates of the African village in the Carolinas there. And also, I want to say a special shout out today to my brother and friend, Pastor Ricky Doutridge, who is the chief elder and pastor of the African Awareness Assembly. Okay, used to be Glory Baptist Church there in Wilson, North Carolina, and his eyes came open. He brought the truth of our story to his congregation, and they ended up changing their name to AAA, the African Awareness Assembly. Give a shout out to you guys as well. Love you guys, praying for you. Pastor Doutridge hasn't been a little bit under the weather lately, but I think he's bouncing back, and we thankful for that. So thank you, brother. I thank you. I pray for you all the time, and to all of you, our listeners and supporters, and those of you who are online with us right now. I love you guys. Yeah, man, I do, and it's just a wonderful thing to have you guys with us today. Yeah. Well, listen, it's time to get right into the teaching for today. Okay. But may I suggest this? Let's see, what is this here? Can't wait for that Egyptian virtual tour. All right, brother. Yeah, I can grab that. Yeah, okay. And I'm gonna work on that right away. I promise. I'm gonna work. I'm so bogged down with so much stuff, man. Our staff hasn't been in since March to work on orders, so yours truly is having to work, fulfill orders that have come in. It's not the bad thing; it's a good thing. But the inconvenient thing about that is once you hire a staff to do stuff for you and you turn over to your staff, you forget how to do stuff, especially when you pass 25 years old. So I've had to learn how to do my own stuff all over again, how to operate my own business all over again. And so the orders are going out, but they're going out slow because I'm moving kind of slow. So just be patient with me. We'll get your orders to you. Those of you who have placed orders, if you hear me, we'll get them to you. Just be a little patient. They're coming. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. Yeah. Okay. And so there's so much going on, man. There's just so much going on. Yeah. So much going on. Well, let's get to our teaching for today. Okay. And the teaching today, oh my goodness. Yeah. The other week I taught, I told a story. And I taught on the caterpillar and the artificial cocoon. I got so much response from that, especially from the young people.
you know. And so I figured I'd teach again today with another story, a story that I've taught in the past, but it's been on me so heavy this week to help us understand our predicament. Okay, so let's do that. But before getting into the teaching, let me just kind of lay a couple of ground rules. All right. And one is this. I know that when a person is teaching, sometimes you get inspired. I know I when I'm listening to other ministers teach or whatever, or someone sharing their testimony of their transition to African consciousness, it motivates me and I get inspired and I want to say things or reply back. And it's okay, family. I don't mind you guys making comments in the thread, in the comment section, like Ashe, thank you, teach, so true, all that kind of stuff, But it's kind of hard to hear, okay, or to process information or take in information if you are so busy trying to give out information. Okay. Sometimes when I read back through the comments, I see people trying to teach through their comments. Okay. This is not your platform. This is my platform. Okay. I'm saying that tactfully as I can. All right. Because I've already asked Minister Herndon, when she see people commandeering the comment section with a whole lot of comments, that means they're not listening. They're busy typing. Okay. Don't allow that to happen. It's distracting for one, because you're trying to make other people read your comments or your suggestions. So please don't disrespect our space like that, or disrespect my teaching time like that. Okay. I don't mind your small comments, but trying to write a whole paragraph or a book, it's not going to work. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next thing I like to ask you to do is create a watch party. Share this teaching. All right, you can go ahead and create a watch party right now if you're on Facebook or wherever. Okay, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, yes. Okay, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right. And hey, man, let's just have a great time learning today. As I always say, get something to write with. Okay, get something to write with, because you may want to take notes. In fact, I encourage you to. All right. Well, before getting into the teaching, let's make a circle with our fingers like this. Repeat after me. The space inside this circle represents my realm of knowledge. All that I think I know about whatever I think I know is depicted right here within this circle. I must keep in mind that there is more to know than what is within the circumference of my awareness. I want you guys to get used to saying that. Don't just wait till I come on the air to say it. Okay, say it throughout the week. Say it throughout the day. Okay, as a reminder that you don't know all there is to know. Okay, and there's more for you to learn. Okay, so hey, man, let's get into the teaching today with a ready and open mind to receive some instruction. Before teaching, let me share with you why I do what I do. I give my lectures. I come here on this mic and behind this camera every week to begin the process of undoing and reversing ideas and concepts that have been programmed into the minds of our people that have caused us to adopt a cognitive reality, okay, that has resulted in our loss of contact with what is real, has resulted in our loss of contact with what is factual, resulted in our loss of contact with what is historical, and especially our loss of contact with what is spiritual. Okay? Yes, many of you, okay, or maybe not you who are watching, but many of our people, the masses, okay, have adopted a cognitive reality, meaning it's real in your mind. Doesn't mean it's real. okay? But you have adopted a cognitive reality that have caused you to forget who you are, to walk away from yourself. You see? So that's my job. And I'll try to break that down a little bit more as I teach. Today, I want to tell you about a story that I made up some time ago. And this is about a tiger who thought he was a goat. Okay? And share this with the young people, share this with the children. Okay, I love teaching these kind of stories. And after all, most of us, all of us pretty much are nothing but grown children. Okay, so I hope you get something out of this as well. Now, let me begin by telling you about this tiger cub that was raised by goats. Okay, this cub, only seeing goats all of his life, became like a goat himself, or as much like a goat as a tiger could. Then one day, after the tiger had begun to mature, the herd of goats was attacked by a large, ferocious male tiger. Discovering himself to be face to face with this horrific being, the younger tiger gazed at this larger image of himself. Okay, did you catch that? The younger tiger gazed in amazement at this larger image of himself. And after a brief moment, and only for a brief moment, the younger tiger began to feel the only sense of self-consciousness that he had ever known. Only for a moment. And when he felt this, he went through what we refer to as psychologists as cognitive dissonance. In other words, I'm seeing something and my brain is having a problem digesting it. Or like when you hear something and your brain is having a problem digesting it or receiving it. That's called cognitive dissonance. Well, see this little tiger seeing this large image of himself, okay, but he's thinking he's like these goats over here. So what does he do when he deals with this momentary cognitive dissonance? He uttered out a blah, blah, and he reached down and picked a few blades of grass and began to chew the grass while the larger tiger just stared at him. And suddenly the larger tiger demanded, "What are you doing among these goats? And what are you eating?" The younger tiger looked at the larger tiger and said, "Blah, blah." And the older tiger became infuriated and roared, "Why are you making this silly sound? That's not you." The younger tiger gave another stupid blah, blah. And at this point, the older tiger was so infuriated that he grabbed the younger tiger by the back of the neck, shook him real hard, and threw him against a tree, as though to knock him back into his senses. The younger tiger, somewhat dazed, stood up and looked around more closely at the older tiger, looking at him with this stare of anger and sorrow combined. And the younger tiger opened his mouth with a mighty yawn, and as though he were waking from a deep sleep, from a night that had for much too long held him under its spell. And stretching in his form as a tiger, he arched his back and extended and stretched his paws, and his tail lashed the ground. And suddenly, from deep within his throat burst forth this terrifying and triumphant roar of a tiger. Yeah. The older tiger, who had been watching him very closely, was satisfied with the transformation that had just taken place. And after the roar of the younger tiger, the older tiger roared back at him, "Now do you know who you are? Now do you know what you are?" And the younger tiger roared as the tiger is supposed to. And when that younger tiger roared the second time like that, the older tiger nodded his head and walked away saying, "Mission accomplished." Yeah. But the story doesn't end there. In fact, it really becomes more complex at this point. Let me tell you what happened. The goats, who were previously safe and secure due to the young tiger's ignorance of himself, guess what? These goats are now face to face with three startling facts. The first fact was the tiger now knows that he is not one of them. Okay? See, this is what happens when you wake up, people. The tiger now knows that he is not a goat. The second fact is the ridiculous relationship that once existed between the tiger and the other goats. That relationship had to now come to an end. Yeah. And the third fact that they had to come to grips with is that they were now in clear and present danger. Because this tiger, who now sees these goats no longer as playmates, he now sees them as food, because he's recognizing the truth about his nature. Oh, yes. You see, this story that I just shared with you and its outcome is a parabolic presentation of the ministry that the Creator has given to me. Yes, Brother Ray, that's my assignment. Just like the young tiger in the story I just shared with you had no idea of what he was. And because he had no idea of what he was or who he was, he thought that his assimilation of the species that raised him, he thought his assimilation of the species that taught him, he thought his assimilation of the species that guided him and gave him an awareness of who he was, he thought that that species was what he was supposed to be. You see? In like manner, brothers and sisters, our people, our African brothers and sisters have been raised by a species. Yes, I use the word species, that is spiritually and culturally antithetical to us. And we are therefore just like that tiger who says, blah, and we eat stuff we ain't supposed to be eating, just like that tiger, thinking he was a goat eating grass. You see, many people are psychologically and intellectually and emotionally and socially and spiritually asleep. Oh, yeah. We weren't awakened. When we came out of our mother's womb, they started lulling us to sleep in a lie from birth. We grew up in a culture that's not ours. We grew up in a belief system that's not ours. We grew up praying to a God that is not spiritually ours. Okay, so we have been living phony, fake, artificial lives. And you say, well, Brother Ray, I don't know about you, but my life has been all right. Well, you can think that if you want to. You have not experienced the truth of who you are without knowing who you are. You cannot experience the power of what you are without knowing who and what you are. It breaks my heart when I hear African brothers and sisters and sons and daughters of Mother Africa or Mother Akibulan say, I'm not an African, I'm an American. When I hear my people talk like that, it hurts my spirit. Yeah. You see, family, many people, bear with me for a moment here, many people don't want to wake up. Hear what I'm saying to you. They're so psychologically, intellectually, emotionally, socially, and spiritually asleep that they don't want to wake up. You know what it's like to be in a good, deep sleep, and somebody tries to wake you up, and you say, leave me alone, leave me alone, no. Leave me alone. Or your alarm clock goes off, and you play this game with yourself of hitting the snooze button because it's going to give you another 10 minutes. And then that 10 minutes goes by, you hit it again, you play this game with yourself. You set the alarm clock for a certain time and then play this snooze game with yourself because you don't want to wake up. Well, brothers and sisters, I have to ask you this question today. What time is it? What time is it? Now I'm going to give you the answer, okay? And make it personal. It's time for me to stop wasting time. Let's keep it real. It's time for me to stop wasting time. Okay? Or sleeping. It's time for me to awaken out of this sleep that I'm in. Okay? There's a verse in the biblical text that says exactly what I'm saying right now. It's Romans 13 and 11. Okay? And here's what it says in the book of Romans. Make note of this. Okay? Romans 13 and 11. Make note of that. Or if you have a Bible handy or Bible program, you want to go to it and read it, please feel free to do that. But in Romans 13 and 11, it says these words in the King James Version of the Bible. It says, and that knowing the time, okay? And that knowing the time, or since you know the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Then it goes on to say this, the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Now let me go back and break that down for you. Since you are aware of what time it is, and how would you know that? Because you are cognizant of what's going on around you. You are aware of the condition of things around you. You see what's happening. You see what's going on in our society. You see the crimes that's being committed by those who are supposed to be upholding the laws and fighting crime. You see what's happening in our world. The corruption of politicians, you see it. Children being murdered, you see it. You know what time it is. So that verse goes on to say, it's time for you to wake up out of your sleep state. And I'm going to break that down too. It's time for you to wake up out of your sleep. The night is far spent. In other words, the time where you should be sleeping, that's gone now. It's over. Ra has risen. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. What are the works of darkness? Acting in ignorance. Okay? Yes, acting in ignorance. Instead of pursuing and grasping and overtaking the power that you're supposed to be walking in, you're wasting time. You're still operating in ignorance. Cast that off and put on the armor of light. The armor of light, which is right knowledge. That would become your armament. Let's look at this again. Knowing the time. The word time here is kairos. What does that mean? It means the strategic period in your life when things are brought to a crisis. Oh, I want to talk to you today on this. That strategic period in your life when things are brought to a crisis. And family, whether you want to accept it or not, okay, it's hitting us in the face. We are in a crisis. You see, there are 9 areas of people activity. Our dear sister and warrior and late scholar, who's now in the ancestral realm, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, wrote a book entitled The Isis Papers. You may pronounce it the Isis Papers, Keys to the Colors, but it's pronounced the Isis Papers, Keys to the Colors. And in her work, she let us know that there are 9 areas of people activity. Economics, the area of education, the area of people activity known as entertainment, the area of people activity known as labor, the area of law, the area of politics, religion, sex, and war. Those are the 9 areas of people activity. And brothers and sisters, we are in a crisis in all 9 areas, especially in economics. And that's the first one that Frances mentions. And I believe she might have gotten that from Neely Fuller in his work, The United Compensatory Code. Okay, we are in trouble in the 9 areas of people activity. What are we doing about our economics? What are we doing in the area of economics? We talk a good game, but aren't you tired of the talk? We rap a good game. Aren't you tired of the rap? And I'm so tired of hearing the word if. I don't know what to do. You know, I used to go to economic empowerment meetings, and all folk would sit around talking about, well, if we do this, if we would do that, if only we would do this, if only we would do that, if. Stop saying if and say when we do this. Okay, that 2-letter word is so big. It's a big word. It's only 2 letters, but it's one of the things that's keeping us from moving forward. You see, you can't move forward until you set a goal. You have to set a goal for yourself, and then your goal has to be realistic and it has to be time bound. Those are the 3 things that make a goal. Is your goal realistic? Not a fantasy. It has to be realistic. Is it measurable? That's the second thing. In other words, can you see how much closer you're getting to your goal as each day or as each week goes by? Are you closer to your goal today than you were last week this time? Can you measure your development? Can you measure your progress? And then the third thing that must be present before a goal can be reached is that goal has to be time bound. Okay, in other words, your goal is what it is that you want to do. Okay, time bound means when are you going to do it? Okay, if you don't establish a deadline to get it done, it'll never get done. That's why when you get your utility bill in the mail, it says due by a certain date. You know why? Because the utility company knows you. They know you. Okay, they know if they don't put a due date on that bill, they're not going to get their money. They know that. Your car payment, your rent or your mortgage payment, okay, all that has a due date. And they know that if they don't give you a date for it to be in or paid, that they're not going to get their money. Well, same thing, brothers and sisters, when it comes to our moving forward in the area of economics or any of these 9 areas. A goal has to have a time-bound existence to it. When are you going to do it? If you can't say when you're going to do it, it's simply an idea. It's not a goal. And we have some ideas now. Don't get me wrong. Oh my God, we got some of us got some wonderful ideas. And you've had these ideas for a long time. Okay? Talking to a very good friend of mine out of Florida, Brother Ishmael, and we talk about what needs to be done and setting a goal to make it happen. This is the only way we're going to move forward, brothers and sisters. Remember, a goal has to have 3 things. It has to be realistic. Can we really accomplish this? Is it realistic or are we talking fantasy? Okay? That's like the person who says, oh, I'm going to buy me a multi-million-dollar mansion. And you ain't got no job. You ain't got no income. That means it's not what you're saying ain't realistic. Okay? Your goal has to be realistic, has to be measurable. How much closer are you to your goal this week than you were a month ago this time? And it has to be time bound. When is it going to happen? Please make your goal time bound so that you can see it come into fruition. Okay? Understand, family, we got work to do. We can't keep sitting around talking about the work that has to be done. Okay? Let me break down verse 11 just a little bit more, and I'm going to close for today because I think you got the message, right? The tiger who thought he was a goat, raised in a culture that was against the very nature of the tiger, raised in an environment, okay, where the tiger learned by osmosis to take on habits that was not him. And it took an elder tiger to come along and put him on the right path. That's my assignment. I'm the elder tiger for many of you. I'm the one to come and roar and wake you up, not stroke you and put you to sleep within the lie, putting you in a coma. I gotta grab you by the back of your neck and shake you and throw you against a tree like the larger tiger did the younger tiger. Make the younger tiger angry so that his nature can come forth. Brothers and sisters, that's what I got to do for you. And I've had people say, Brother Ray, don't be so hard on folk. You know, don't be so hard on people. You know, I have to be hard, man. This ain't no game. This is serious here. We're talking about our life. You know, I watched too many of my people go into eternity, take their last breath, believing a lie, looking for something that's never going to happen in eternity for them. And some of you watching me right now, you also have lived that lie, and some of you might be living that lie, looking for something that's never going to come, putting your hope
in a fabricated savior. In fact, as I asked a friend this week, who told you that you needed to be redeemed? Who told you that you were lost? Who told you you needed to be saved? Who told you you were a sinner? Where'd you get that from? That's not an African story. That's not an African concept. No. It is not an African thought process, okay, to entertain the idea or to entertain the fabrication that somebody disobeyed God in a garden of Eden. And because they disobeyed God in a garden of Eden, God is holding everybody else in the world responsible for what they did. That is not African thinking at all. That's European thinking. That's a lie that they came up with. That's a gospel that they created for themselves because they know by nature that they are a wicked people. So they had to create. They had to create a story that would afford them the opportunity to be made right with God simply by believing on this fabricated figure that they made up in the first place. That's not our story, family. Our story is do ma'at and live. Do ma'at and live. Are you getting this? Again, what is ma'at? Well, ma'at is ma'at. Okay, it's a Kemetic term. It's not an English word. It's spelled M-A-A-T. All right, but we use English words to describe the meaning of ma'at, and the words that we use in English to describe the essence of ma'at are truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, reciprocity, right order of things. Okay, the larger tiger had to come and put things in right order with the younger tiger because the younger tiger was completely out of balance. He thought he was okay. A tiger talking about blah and eating grass like the goats do. People, we got to get it together. And that's why I live. That's why other brothers and sisters live. We are messengers of the Most High. We are ambassadors of truth to rescue our people. Yeah. The problem is a lot of y'all don't know you need to be rescued. Oh, yes, you do. If you're believing a lie, hoping that everything is going to be all right, come on, look at us. Just look at us. How long have we been messed up believing this lie? Everybody comes into, I got away from my notes, man. Everybody comes into this country and gets busy doing what we should have been. We built this place. America exists off the labor of black backs. But what position do black backs have in America? Think about what I'm saying here. Because they gave us a program to believe in that makes us non-productive, that makes us useless eaters. They gave us a program to believe in that makes us docile, that makes us love our enemy. Let me say that again. That makes us love and even pray for our enemy. Now, how backwards is that? And of course, we live like that because it was the enemy that taught us to do that in the first place. After all, what's the best way to secure your safety
than to teach your enslaved people to pray for you? What better way to ensure that there will be no retaliation against you than to train and program people? You see what I'm saying? Train and program people to love their enemy. Pray for them that misuse you and abuse you. We got work to do. So we need to put work in improving our economics. Okay, there's a book I recommend to you by Dr. Amos Wilson. It's called Blueprint for Black Power. If you don't have it, order that book. Blueprint for Black Power. Okay, and he deals with economic empowerment. Okay, oh yeah, I recommend that book highly. What about in the area of education? We need to go do work there. In fact, I'm going to do another lecture on these 9 areas because I'm running out of time. Okay. And entertainment. I don't refer to entertainment. I use the word edutainment instead of entertainment. Okay. That's the problem. We're entertained when we go to church, for that matter. I believe it was Richard Pryor that said, in the black church, you get a show for your money. Whew. It's bad, man, when you go to church and get entertained instead of taught. In the area of labor, in the area of law, in the area of politics or policy planning, I call it. In the area of religion, we've been messed up. Let's get it together. Let's get it right and realize how we've been programmed. And understand that we should not be focusing on religion, but on spirituality. It's just that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing listed the word religion in the 9 areas of people activity. But for us as African people, it's spirituality. In the area of sex, in the area of war, we're the only people who are at war and don't know we are. Okay, we got work to do, family. Again, let me break down verse 11 here right quick, and I'll close this. Romans 13, verse 11, there's a phrase there that says high time, from the root word hora kairos. Hora kairos, really more properly transliterated into English, means a definite time, a specific time, like now, right now, not set a time, but now is the time. Don't set a time for off in the future, because see what we'll do, we'll hit that snooze button and we'll say, well, the first of the year we're gonna work on getting it together, okay? Or next spring we're gonna work on getting it. No. Hura kairos means now, right now. Let's get busy. Don't put it off another further. That's right, I said another further. Don't put it off another further. Another word in that verse is awake. Now, it's now is the time to awake from sleeping. Okay, the word awake here comes from the root word egero, which means, more properly transliterated, instead of just awake, it means to rise up, to get up and become productive. Okay, isn't that deep? 3 things in that one word, awake. Agero means to rise up, get up, and be productive. Isn't it something? I don't know how many of you have ever done this, and I did this in a message entitled Lying in Bed Awake. How sometimes we awaken, but we just lay there in the bed. But we're awake. Now, the deep thing about just lying in bed awake is while you're lying there, you begin to think about all the things that you want to get done. You make the best plans while you're lying in bed awake. Okay? And what's really deep about it is in your mind, you begin to see yourself making these achievements. In your mind, you see that, but you're lying in bed. And then to top it off, you literally start getting happy and smiling over what you see yourself achieving while you're lying in bed. And then you lay there long enough and you doze right back off to sleep. But you had all this stuff in your head that needed to get done. That's where we are. That's exactly where we are as a people. Okay? And don't, you have some conversation with some of us, we'll tell you what all we're going to do and da 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 da. Oh, we got it all up here. What all needs to be done? And yeah, but are we getting it done? See, because you didn't set a goal, you didn't make it time bound, or what you had in mind to do wasn't realistic. Okay? I was listening to a brother just the other day, talking about how he's going to, oh my God, he's going to charter a corporate jet and take 20-something people to Africa. And he got about $4 to his name. You see? That's what I mean by unrealistic. No, that's not going to happen. That's not realistic thinking. Okay? The next word in the 11th verse I want to focus on is the word sleep. Okay? It's time to awaken out of sleep. The word sleep here is from the root word hypnos. It means the state of mental, psychological, and spiritual atrophy due to intentional miseducation. Whoa! And that's all out of one word, sleep. So in other words, in this verse in Romans 13 and 11, the word sleep doesn't actually mean to be in your bed sleeping. Okay? The word sleep here is properly transliterated to say a state of mental, psychological, and spiritual atrophy. Now, what does atrophy mean? Atrophy means that you're wasting away. Okay, like you experience atrophy of your muscles. Your muscles start wasting away because you're not using them. You see? Okay, atrophy is a wasting away. It's when you begin to deteriorate. Well, do you not know that people, are suffering psychological atrophy, mental atrophy, spiritual atrophy because of intentional miseducation? And what better place are we intentionally miseducated than in the area of religion? When we go to church, we hear the stories. We think it's actual world history. We hear the things that were made up by Roman Catholic bishops, and we think that this actually happened in world history. So we are being intentionally miseducated right there in the churches that we support so very much. The other word that I want to focus on in that verse is the word salvation. For now is your salvation nearer than when we first believed, it says. Well, what does the word salvation mean in this verse? It comes from the word soteria. Okay? Soteria, or the word soter, S-O-T-E-R, means saved, or sozo, right? Soteria means deliverance from the molestation of our enemies. Has nothing to do with going up in the sky, family. Has nothing to do with some pie in the sky and the great by and by. No, salvation in this verse, don't take my word for it. Get your strong concordance and validate what I'm saying. or try to disprove what I'm saying. Soteria, the word salvation in this verse comes from the word soteria. It means deliverance from the molestation of our enemies. Some of y'all think you're saved. You're not saved because you're still a victim. And what makes you a victim? Believing in the lies that were taught to you. Okay, like I taught you, I think a week or two ago. Okay, there's what you call oppression, suppression, and repression. Okay, oppression is what was done to us. Suppression are the devices and tools that were used to continue to do what was done to us. But repression is when we get so used to what was done to us that we now do it to ourselves. Yeah. So family, it's time now. It's been time. It's past time. Okay? For us to get busy. Stop wasting time. Yeah. Some of you watching me right now, your skills, your abilities, your talents, your resources, all that is going in the grave with you. Yep. Now, when I say your resources, I mean all that's up here in your head. All of the goals and ideas and concepts and things you would like to get done, all that's up here in your head is going in the grave. The graveyard, man, the cemetery is full of great ideas. Full of great ideas. Yeah. That people never got to implement. You know why? It wasn't time bound. They didn't say when it was going to get done. Once you say when a thing is going to happen, you will start moving accordingly. Okay? So brothers and sisters, understand. You were not raised to be what you are not. Okay? God didn't actually, I don't, did I say that right? You were raised to be what you are not. That's what I meant to say. You were raised to be what you are not. Except for those of you who now know who you are. And I'm so glad that a large tiger came along and awakened you. I hope that I was that large tiger for some of you. To open your eyes to the reality and the truth that you've been, as Malcolm said, hoodwinked, bamboozled, lied to, led astray for the purpose of control and securing the agenda of the oppressor. It's time for that to stop. Time for that to stop. Now, time for that to stop. Okay? I think you've gotten the message. I hope you got the message for today. Yeah, okay. And one of the things that I've learned to do, brothers and sisters, and that is in my intuition or in my spirit, when I sense that the message has gotten across, okay, that means, okay, stop now. Don't just continue to ad-lib and talk, because you'll draw away from the point that was made. I want the lesson today to take root in your mind. Okay, I want the seed that was planted to germinate, okay, and burst forth and bring forth the fruit of liberation in your life. Okay? Yeah, I'd like to invite you to, since I'm saying that, to log on to our 24-hour a day, 7-day a week radio stream, okay, on the internet, our radio station, our webcast, Black Liberation Webcasting Network, and hear me teaching 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay? as well as some nice music in between each lesson. Okay, I also invite you to download our app. Okay, the app on your phone. Okay, and let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, this is our app. As you can see, our logo. I guess you can see it there. Okay, download our app by going to the Play Store, okay, or your App Store. Download our app by doing the search of TAVCC. T, Tango, A, Alpha, V, Victor, CC, Charlie, Charlie. Okay, get those letters right, or you're not going to find the app. TAVCC for the African Village and Cultural Center. Download our app, okay, to your phone, and this way you can hear our broadcasts, our streams. Okay, you can get notices from me, updates from me. Of course, when you download the app, be sure to say yes to accept notifications. This way you can be notified of what's happening here in the African Village and with Dr. Ray Hagins. Okay, I invite you also to join our video on demand. Okay, on our website, you'll see the opportunity to register to watch unlimited viewership of my video lectures, okay, by purchasing our video on demand. There's 3 packages there. Peruse them and choose the one that's best for you, all right? And in closing, I'd like to invite you to make a donation today. And those of you who have been donating, I thank you so very, very much. Thank you for your support, okay? Oh, my goodness. There's so many things we want to do yet, okay? And, of course, liberation is not free. It takes money to do a lot of things that we want to do. Yeah, okay? So make a donation of whatever amount the Almighty, the Most High, has laid on your heart to give, okay? And there are 3 ways that you can make it. Well, there are actually 4 ways, but immediately right now, there are 3 ways you can make donations using PayPal. All right, our PayPal address is, I don't know, Minister Herndon, if you put that there on the screen, our PayPal address is African Village 1. Yeah, in fact, let me do it as well. Okay, African Village 1. Let's see, is that it? Yes, okay. You can make your donations to AfricanVillage1@AOL.com. And that's African with a K. Notice it there on the screen, right? If you want to make your donation by PayPal, okay? If you want to make your donation through Cash App, make your donation to cash tag, that's the $, as you see there, Dr. Ray Hagins, all right? We were using cash tag the African Village, but for some reason or another, it wasn't accepting payments. It was canceling out payments of people making donations, so we weren't getting the money, okay? But the cash tag address with my name is working fine. So make your donation to cash tag Dr. Ray Hagins, and that's Hagins. And of course, we've added to that Zelle, okay, Zelle, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. You can also make your donation to Zelle, to my email address there on the Zelle app, rayhagins@gmail.com. All right. And of course, the 4th way that you can make your donation is through regular mail. If you want to send in or mail in your donation, please feel free to do that. Okay. Our mailing address is the African Village. Okay, as you see there in the logo, 3520 North Newstead Avenue in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, again, that's Minister Herndon, if you would just go ahead and put that there in the comment section, so in case people don't get to write it down. Again, that's the African Village, 3520 North Newstead Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63115. Okay, if you want to mail in your money order or check or what have you. Okay, so make a donation, family. continue to support us. Those of you who've been with us every week, thank you so much. I'm beginning to know y'all like as though I'm actually seeing y'all face to face every week. Okay, but it does my heart good when I see your loyalty, your faithfulness, logging on with us, man. It's just a wonderful thing, you know. Oh, what can I tell you? I hope today's message made sense to you, family. Okay, I really do. And share this message. Okay, create a watch party. Share the video. All right, and again, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, just subscribe to it. I got a notice this week that I had well over 1,000 subscribers in less than a month. Okay, to my YouTube channel, and of course, all of this technology now I'm using YouTube to as well. Y'all, many of you might have seen my videos on YouTube in the past, but those are not videos that I had posted. Okay, I didn't know how to do that then. Okay, so, but now that I'm understanding a little bit more about this technology, I do have a YouTube channel now. So I invite you to subscribe to it and support it. Okay, tell others about it. All right, yeah. The best is yet to come, y'all. Let's get ready to get good. Okay. Oh well, listen, it's time to get out of here. Okay, and we gotta leave with Easy to Love. Okay. Yeah. Where is it here? Where's our song? Easy to Love. Okay. The African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You know why? Because you're easy to love. Now, even though you're not physically next to the person, tell the person in the chat room, you're easy to love. Okay? Yeah. Let them feel that energy. Come on. Let's say it like we mean it. The African in you. Everybody sing. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. 'Cause you're easy. Oh, 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 you're easy. Yeah. Easy to love. Oh, yeah. The African in me loves the African in you. Come on. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. 'Cause you're easy. Oh, 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 you're easy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Easy to love. You're easy to love. The power in me. The power in me. Love the power in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. I see you guys there. I see you. You're easy. Easy to love. Oh, yeah. The spirit in me. Come on. Spirit in me. Love the spirit in you. I'm pointing to the name. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. 'Cause you're easy. Oh, you're easy. You're easy to love. Yeah, you're easy to love. How about the truth in me? The truth that's in me. Love the truth that's in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Easy to love. Yes. The righteousness in me. Come on. The righteousness in me. Love the righteousness in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. 'cause you're easy. You're easy. You're easy to love. Yes. The justice in me. Come on. Justice in me. Love the justice in you. When we come together, ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Easy to love. Oh, yeah. Let's close out with the African in me. Come on. The African in me. Love the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Easy to love. Oh, yes, family. You're easy to love. I have enjoyed being with you guys today. I have even more enjoyed your being with me. Seeing the names, seeing the comments, seeing the testimonies, seeing the support. I love you guys, man. Yeah, I do, and your support helps to keep me motivated and inspired, Yeah. Listen, I want to share an announcement with you before I go, okay? There's an organization in France of African brothers and sisters who's volunteering to take my lectures and translate them into French, okay? Because there's a great many brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora, okay, who are French-speaking Africans, all right? So I'm thankful for that, and I'm looking forward after this whole pandemic is over to start getting around the world and teaching the groups of people, teaching the crowds, okay, on what we must do to empower ourselves and free ourselves. Oh, yeah, it's coming, y'all. Yep. Because when we come together, ain't nothing we can't do, okay? Family, listen, you guys take care of yourself this week, all right? Yeah, be safe. Take those vitamins. Take that vitamin C, all right? Take that vitamin D3. Get out in that sunlight, okay? Go for some walks. Yes, take that zinc as well, all right? Stay healthy, family. I need you to survive. I love you. Until next week this time, Ma'at Hotep. Peace. Yeah. You're easy to love. You're so easy to love. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, ooh. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're so easy to love. You're easy to love.